The year is 2348 BC, the location somewhere in the Middle East. A great evil has fallen upon the world. Mankind has strayed too far from the divine path and must be cleansed. But one righteous man has been chosen to survive the coming deluge, Noah, son of Lamech. He has built an enormous vessel, an ark, to carry him, his family, and a selection of animals across the face of the earth. Outside, the wind is rising. The sky is dark and filled with anger. In the distance, a flash of lightning illuminates the clouds and the mountains. Torrents of rain begin to fall. Here goes nothing. So we know the story of Noah's flood from the Bible, but did such an event really happen? Could there be archaeological evidence for it? Join us as we look at some ancient maps, manuscripts, and carvings that may help answer these questions. In this video, we will examine several ancient maps of the Middle East. We'll see what they have in common and how they could relate to the Great Flood. This one was published in 1690 by the Danish astronomer and cartographer Tobias Conrad. Look carefully at the shape of the landmass surrounded by water. It looks remarkably like the Middle East. But why are so many of these regions underwater? This map seems to imply that these lands were once dry and above the water, just as the Bible says. What about this 15th century map by Al-Idrisi? Again, we can see the same general shape as the Middle East. Why would both of these European cartographers include these strange watery regions in their maps if they were unreal? Did they simply make mistakes, or were they copying from an older source that had the correct geography of the area? Could there be an ancient origin point for the idea of a great flood? The Hebrew Bible was written over many centuries, and some scholars believe that originally it had no global flood narrative. Rather, the story developed over time and was localized to the region around the Black Sea. Does this change the fact that a great flood happened? No. But it does help explain why there doesn't seem to be much physical evidence left behind. But wait, there's more. This carving comes from a site called Tel el-Hizar in modern Turkey. It dates back to around 1750 BC. Do you see the fish? They look remarkably similar to the creatures that would have been collected by Noah for the purpose of repopulating the earth after the flood. This would certainly fit with the idea that the story originated from local traditions in this area. But what about evidence outside of the Middle East? Did other cultures have traditions of a great flood? This carving comes from the Hindu site of Da. It depicts the story of the Great Flood from the Mahabharata, where the hero Manu collects pairs of animals and also builds a boat. These carvings date back to around 800 BC. So we have traditions of a great flood thousands of years before the story appears in the Bible. Did other cultures have traditions of a great flood? This statue comes from the ancient Mesopotamian city of Shuruppak. It depicts the biblical figure of Utnapishtim, who is said to have survived the Great Flood. What's truly amazing is that this statue dates back to around 2600 BC, thousands of years before the story appears in the Bible. How could there be a statue of Noah in a city that was destroyed by the flood? Was there more than one person chosen to survive the deluge? And if so, where are they now? And what about the rainbow that appeared after the flood? Is it merely a colorful arc in the sky, or could it be something more? Some say it's a symbol of hope, while others believe it's a sign of God's promise to never flood the earth again. But what do you think? Thanks for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and be sure to join our community.